challenge I face is that stigma, and a lot of the applications I'm doing now, I don't feel like I really have to disclose my disability because it's not going to affect me in the interview, but it is going to affect me when I'm actually in the role. So for me, it's kind of a challenge to think of what's in it for me. And things I look for in an employer are like really good work from home facilities and just flexibility with the workload. So I'm focusing on employers that have really good technology.
Would it actually put you off if an employer didn't offer any work from home facilities?
Absolutely, because I think that's, I can't foresee right now what I'll be doing, 5 years from now. But I know that my mood swings still exist even though I'm medicated, and I have techniques to help me cope. There's always going to be a part of me, and I've accepted that, and I feel like an employer who doesn't have the capacity to accept that or to embrace it isn't someone that I want to work for.
Helen talked there in the video about some applicants, disabled applicants, being reluctant to disclose openly what their disability is or whatever limitations they feel they have. What do you think discourages people from doing that when they apply for jobs?
That's a great question. I'm sure many want the answer. For me, disability is hard to explain. I'm not the same person I was 5 years ago when I was diagnosed. I'm medicated and I have techniques to help me cope. But again, I still have to explain parts of who I am in the application. So whenever you have a word limit on that section of the application, tell me about your disability, that's immediately off-putting for me because I probably can't explain it in 150 words or less. Also, like Helen was saying, lack of clarity of what you're going to do with my information, who's going to know, how private is it just for screening, or is everyone in the firm going to know? These are questions that need to have clear answers. And also, things that make me not want to disclose are when it's not necessary at that stage. Something I hadn't really thought of until I actually had a recent interview was the possibility of me having a panic attack in an interview, and that's not something I told them about, so I felt like I can't even tell them that at that stage because it's almost too late. So sometimes I kind of don't disclose even though it's not in my best interest, and I think that's something that even I need to work on.
Finally, if you had one piece of advice, Christina, for employers here in this room on how to engage best with disabled people, what would you say to them?
I would say the best advice I can give you is don't underestimate the value of human personal contact. I know a lot of you in the room are giant multinational corporations and you have thousands upon thousands of applicants, and you narrow those down with some mechanical automated process. But that doesn't always work for disabled candidates, and that's, in a way, it's a barrier. I saw on one firm's website, we weren't out-of-the-box thinkers, and yet they had a test, a situational judgment test where you're supposed to fit into a certain box. And that just seemed very weird to me. So be consistent throughout your messaging that you're giving to people, and please reconsider the automated testing and maybe give a little, not special attention to disabled applicants, but I want you to know that I have a disability if I do disclose it on the application. You should know that by the time I get there for the interview. So just make sure you're paying attention to detail like you ask us to.
Christina Nelson, thank you very much.